Alright, so Stand By Me, melody incorporated intro type thing. First thing to do is let go of I got the right note and realize that we want to be doing highly nuanced stuff when we're playing this type of thing. So, you know, when I'm going like, you know, totally not the same as going like. So yeah, I'm thinking about G. You know, palm mute, whatever. So, you know, palm muting wise, just don't do this. Just, you know, me, I'm still making the same hand shape. I'm just not reaching for this. You know, it's like down, up, all the strings, down, up, gimpy, gimpy. That's the difference, is when you anchor in, it's all hand, whereas you can get more wrist involvement and still be on all the strings. What's more, it works a lot of the time to palm mute the bass strings, but have the high strings open, like accidentally even, you know, it's like, I can actually go. We weren't going to really get on that topic, but
I like that though.
Yeah,
sounds good.
totally, it's something that we do quite a bit, and you can manage that. But either way, if I was like, so yeah, first of all, let's just be like, oh, and we notice this, you know, thing with you where you're not really like, you know, like, maybe just learn that. It's the same as here I am doing the shit, man. And I know that's one you do quite a bit, so it's first position. Anyway. And then the next thing I'm doing is I'm just getting those notes in the chord, like. And you can actually stop there. Just be like, you know, with or without the. I think probably just if you can grab the second string with it, it'll sound cool. First string not as much, or you can totally. Yeah, right. And there I'm just going, you know, E minor, and I'm going on the, and that was kind of like, what do I do other than this stuff? And it's still, good news is I'm just going pentatonic, pentatonic, pentatonic on the third string. So I'm like, and I'm doing it with a hammer on. So since we know it's going to be E minor, if this is easier for you, you can be like, yeah, and then, so in the moon, we can go, instead of going for literally melody, we can go in, you know,
bass line.
And then our melody actually is in the, you know, it's the same as our, and that's on the third string. So, let's see, yeah, so. You can get the is the only on your way to your D grip if you want with the open second string. It's not as cool as going like, you know. So, but anyway, what I just did there was the same. There, you know, but you kind of got to get. So there's the grip that was tripping out. We'll get getting to there. So you can also be like, and that's the same as going, you know, well, we kind of want to be in first position. So, and that's, or, and if you do it as your open strum, the me on the one, me and my me. If you're transitioning to that, it'll totally sound fine as long as you just hit approximately not the two bass strings, you know? So I'm like, you know, and then another thing we talked about was, so our definitive one is, the same as if I was playing A minor stuff going. We can always skip that. You know, it's like 1 fret higher. So yeah, that's exactly, and that's the important thing to recognize is just structurally that you're in this, you know, and not the bluegrass one, but just, you know, I think one thing that might be really helpful for you is just playing the melody too, like. And then we can get some. So that part actually has our. That's our first non-pentatonic tone. It's like I'm like, you know, I was on the last chord. That's something you could definitely do at the second one. So that's me on the first, you know, a lot of this stuff we're doing on the G chord is me freeing up my first finger. Cool. And, you know, your middle finger just kind of frets poorly. Like, just flop it down. And then we've got our, like, Hey, Hey, What Can I Do by Led Zeppelin is like. So, yeah. 2nd, 5th string, 4th string, 5th string. And this is our. Well, that's one thing we can do, but we can also, as far as index finger moving, I'm going, it's not efficient, but we can totally do it. And it's not like we'd go like, there's something more deductive reasoning wise. So yeah, I'm going, and this while we're at it, this chord is G major 7 in first position, which is a good chord. So no in general, even if it's not like bluesy, it's, and if we think about that, like G7, so then G major 7 is going to be just raising the 7th. You know, like, here's G7, set the first fret note, French G7 chord, just moving it 1 fret higher. And I'm doing it with my middle finger in the bass, my middle finger in the bass. It seems like generally you kind of have some brain farts around middle and ring. You've got to, so then my ring finger is just staying on D, which is a good bet for the entire thing, D on the 2nd string. My ring finger is staying on D on the 2nd string, while my middle finger plays bass. Cool. So you know, just put your first finger on the second. Yeah, there. Cool. So it's gonna be.
It's gonna be a young chord.
At any rate, I'm just starting with the regular chord. Yeah. So there's your. That's how to fret it anyway. And while we're at it, this is a chord on its own that we play, and there's no good way to do it with this note in it too.
Right.
Sort of overemphasized for people who don't play in first position enough is thinking that in G you need to have that note,
right?
And in C that you need to have that note. But that said, in the C chords it'll be more useful because it's actually in the melody, you know. So there's our D stuff, you know. Aside from this, which you can always work in, and that's much easier in D. And kind of, even though this is something we put somewhere else, you could put it right at the top. So you could be like, yeah, there. That might be your second one. You know, you've been like, so there I just went, you know, like I'm playing.
Can you still palm it and do that in between?
You don't need to. A lot of your fills you can not palm. mute 4. That's what I'm doing. I'm going not palm mute, palm mute. No. When I'm doing that, I'm going, doing that thing we talked about during the lesson where I'm opening up the high strings. But if I just went, that would still sound cool. There's an alternate E minor thing you can do. Let's just throw a ring finger on E on the 5th string, like E, D. That's E. Yeah, and then just put your first finger on the adjacent string on the 5th fret. Cool. So there's an E minor. You can get all the strings, and that's one where you can get kind of on the 4th string. You're only fretting on 2 strings. Yeah, so get this one, that one, this one, pick you out, pick you out, pick you off. So that, and that's the same thing as our in first position. So there we go. That's a good, alternate E minor thing. So there's another E minor idea. So So when we're doing this D, a lot of the time going, including this 3rd here, like the, 4th fret, like if I'm going, that works. But in this song, since it's so G, we don't really want to, unless you're going to go, that's the same. Yeah, so that's the part that, these are the things that people are actually going to recognize, as like, oh, that sounds like the melody. But any of this, so there's one, and then I'm just going to do a couple takes.